couple more minutes to let a few other people join the teleconference for the pre-dive call, but just giving those of you who are on right now just a heads up. We have at least one more minute, and then we'll start the pre-dive, and we're pretty close to the bottom already, so we got a little bit of time to tell you about the site.
Excuse me. Yeah, this is Chris. Sorry. Thank you.
So it looks like a lot of what is bringing us out that way is current. We could move the ship a little bit this way. It's closer to that waypoint 1, but I think we're also good here.
Okay, so who we got on the line right now?
I think it's fine. We can always. I go either way. I don't really have a preference.
Let's stick with this right now.
Science objectives, this is fine.
Bruce Mundy
And
here.
I think it should be a good place to
Hi,
land.
Chris and Chris. Scott Friends
Yeah,
here.
I mean, if it's
Hi, Scott.
flat there,
Hi,
that's
Bruce.
all that matters.
And hello, Amy.
The multibeam indicates
was that-
this ridge
that was
is
Amy.
100
Sorry, hi,
meters
Amy.
wide.
So good morning,
Oh, okay.
everybody. We are calling you
there.
from the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer, and we have our vehicle down at approximately 1,785 meters, and we're heading to 2,097
So it's not like yesterday where it was
meters,
just
which
a
is where
cliff.
we think the bottom will be.
Well,
If you look at feed
really
3,
can't resolve
you
that.
will see a
That at this depth,
image
so-
of the dive site, and I'll zoom out a bit. So yesterday,
Last I looked.
see, whoops, I'm not as, Moshkor is not here this morning, so you'll pardon the driving here. Okay, here we go. All right, so we dove here, we dove there, right there, yesterday on this particular ridge, and we were down about 2,500 meters, and today we're going to the other side of Wetmore Seamount, which is over here, and we're going to dive another ridge, but in this case we're going to be diving shallower at 2,000 meters. This is the east side, by the way. The other side was the west side, and this is a tentative name for the seamount. It's being proposed by Dr. John Smith of the University of Hawaii, who mapped this seamount with Jonathan Tree aboard the Schmidt Ocean Institute Falcor in the December of 2016, January 2017, just this past year. So that's it. I heard a couple other people join the teleconference line. Who else joined us? Who hasn't chimed in who they are?
Hey, Chris. Jonathan Tree here.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hey, how you doing this morning, Chris?
I am doing good.
0.4 knots, surface current 1
Okay,
degree.
sorry about that. I hit something. What's that? I
Well,
can't even
that's at
see the
0.
mouse right now. There it is. Okay.
It was at 359.
Okay, sorry about that. It's kind of, I'm leaning over to
think
the
it says
left
0?
trying to drive on the right,
360.
which is pretty weird. And I lost the mouse again. Where is
That's
the
a good
mouse?
question.
Maybe we'll find out.
Which screen? Oh, it's way over there? Okay. So I cannot figure
Just
out where the mouse
malfunctions
is.
of
Is somebody
that.
else
Just
competing
shuts
on
down.
this computer maybe? There we go. All right. No, there it is. Okay,
All right.
sorry about this, folks.
Wire
Here we
out
go. I'm going to try and
1851.
look way over to the left.
52,
There we go.
18.
12.
Okay, so here's our dive site. It's
Streaming still
along
looks
this ridge.
good.
It is a flat top
Comps,
guyot.
still good.
And do we have any questions from those of you on the line right
Insulation
now?
resistance looks relatively good.
Yep, I agree. I think those are typical
Change it all from
values
last
for
night?
motors.
It changed slightly in that we
Topside bender,
bumped it slightly upslope, the
50,000
start
cam,
point. The end
all
point's the
as well.
same. The start
Fiber
point was
levels
about
look good.
right here, and it looked like a little far. So we bumped it to about there.
Wind is
And I think we can
10
make
knots
this, and
right
then
off
we
the
can
bow.
continue on
We have
if we get to
right
waypoint
direct
2
starboard.
early.
Jonathan remembers what he mapped that blank as. We have to pull up our interpretive map to take a look at that.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my maps right now, and I just mapped this as a volcanic flank. The steepness might have more to do with the eruptive style rather than any kind of an erosional feature. So I wasn't able to detect any kind of normal faults, but if I kind of toggle the geology on and off here on my computer here, I can kind of see what might be a little normal fault step. Maybe that bit right there that your cursor's on, but it doesn't really look like it to me. It's probably just more of a constructional feature that's super steep. Now that your mouse is on that deeper green part,
Okay, right here.
That might be a normal faulted block that is slumped off of this. That would be the southern side, right?
Right here would be, you mean, right there. Or are you talking about this side? Because this is the northeastern side, and here's the southeastern side. North up is about like, whoa, boy, come on, get control of yourself. That's about north up right there.
All right.
So whatever that
At
was.
2,000.
Go ahead, Scott.
We're expecting 2,100.
Slow
correct?
down before you finish.
Just
Let us
under
see it.
2,100
Yeah.
for both of you.
Just
yes.
under 2,100.
Sorry,
copy.
it's a matter of driving over my shoulder here, because Mashkor is normally driving from a
Yesterday we
different
picked it up
seat,
good.
so it's a little
We
awkward.
picked it up
But
like 110 meters out. It was very accurate.
Well, any time now we can pick
The other
it up.
thing is I guess you brought it down, but yeah, the vertical
Was it yesterday?
exaggeration is
Maybe
going to
it
make
was- can't remember.
those features look
Yesterday was much deeper, but
more dramatic as far as
multi-beam
interpreting
was
things,
maybe
looking at
20,
highly
30
exaggerated
meters
terrain.
over.
okay, so
your
that's
shower
one.
multi-beam.
It's
Yeah, I
not
saw
exaggerated
yesterday,
at all.
when
That's
I was on nav,
that's
it was.
There we go.
that's at 1x.
Oh,
Got
it's
it.
awesome.
30 meters difference.
D2, good luck. None on Sirius yet.
We're looking at
Okay,
a little
so
off, huh?
then
It is,
yeah, it's
about 30 meters off.
it isn't. It's hard to say what this mass is, I guess, now that you see it at 1x.
Yeah, it looks like Jonathan said, more of a
Plans still to stop at
from that,
50 meters?
You
one to
got
one,
it.
looks
I'll
more
stop 50
constructional rather
altitude.
than,
Or
before
do you
it
want me to
did kinda
stop
look,
at 20?
like 3x,
30.
like it could be
Sorry.
something else.
Well, it should be roughly the same, right?
Okay, and if you look down
It's more
here,
like
this is
20
the
meter
profile
delta.
along the track
So you
here.
want me to stop at
so
30?
for the first 200
I guess I would
meters or
50
so,
or-
it's going to be
yeah.
fairly
Yeah.
leveled, even though it's going to drop off
Okay,
dramatically
I'll probably stop
to each
first. I'll
side.
50.
Okay.
And then we're going to start going up to a
Couple
steep
blips in
section
Sirius.
along the riff, and you can see it right here. And at the very
Sirius
end of the
is
track,
2060.
then we're going to wind up on a little more level terrain. But the
D2
entire
Sirius,
time here is going to be
20,
moving
80.
along this ridge,
Interesting.
and
You're a little shallower.
we should see again dramatic
Yeah,
relief.
quite a
And if
bit,
it's like
actually.
yesterday, I'm expecting
Which is
to
not
see a
indicated
lot of pillow formations.
by the multi-beam.
I don't know why one of these type of rift zone ridges would have pillows and the other not.
All right, 13
Is
meters
that
to
your
go.
conclusion too, John? You expect to see volcanics, you or Jonathan?
I have Sirius sonar at 80
Yeah, I would
meters.
think that that's,
maxed out.
yeah, that's
Copy.
imagine what you're going to see
Great.
the whole time.
5
Passing
meters
to
to go.
0
Maybe some pallets
altitude
and
right now.
flat parts.
53,
Okay.
52.
Scott, do you have
All
any
right, we'll
comments
come to a
besides
stop.
telling me to slow down from
about
spinning like
Now, all right, wind
like
chill
a top.
stopped.
I'm going to go out
2010 wire up.
I'm going to go out of joy locking and auto
No,
heading.
just hurry up and get
Copy
to the
that. I'll
bottom.
go an auto heading
Yeah,
2.
so we are at
I'm
we
gonna
are at
point my camera straight down.
2,025
The camera is
meters right
facing
now.
down. Sonar looks good.
So now you go 20 meters, almost there. 20
Okay.
meters delta.
I am
Some
holding
comments
here.
So you were saying
Auto
yesterday
depth
it'll be
is
interesting.
engaged.
We're
Auto
on
heading
a
is
ridge
engaged.
again, but the orientation
We're at
is
20
different, so
delta.
that will absolutely
Copy
be
that.
interesting
So
for us to compare.
I can
The depth is
rotate
also
slightly
different,
starboard
so
to look
it won't be
east,
a direct comparison, of
and
course,
then
for,
Yeah.
you want to
Maybe that's
rotate.
And I can rotate to port here.
you said many
But
times,
I'll
and
come
I
back
know
underneath
will
you.
say it again
Yeah.
during
We'll
today's
start.
dive about why
So let me go ahead
these,
and back up
ridges
into
are
you right now.
Copy
more
that.
Comfortable.
I'll look out for you.
Okay, here I go.
The coral and sponge communities we're looking for. One day, it'll be
All right,
nice
I
to
have-
have lots
have you
of
my
exploration
Titan.
so that we
Great.
can also look at
Still
All
have
looks well.
the size of
19
these
delta,
ridges
backing
and
at
the
30%.
steep slopes.
that are around the red flat part that you're looking at right now, essentially the steepest slope/wall leading up to the flat part.
Tether's dead center. It's not really picking a side.
Looks good right now.
Yeah, I don't see any
one
issues
more
now.
observation to put in our quiver for understanding why and where we see these communities.
I should come a little bit further.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. And that's kind of the hopes of the Okeanos Explorer missions
Alright,
to
you're
these
just
places
getting my
which have
fish
never
eye?
been explored. We're
Copy.
hoping to stimulate follow-up work here, of course. And if we can find some really fascinating
playing tricks on me
biology
'cause I
and
think I can see
geology,
the bottom, but I
think
doubt it.
we will do that. So we'll see
See
what
any fish
happens.
eye?
We
I'm
are
not
very
seeing it.
close to the bottom.
Yeah, you're just
Thank
at
you.
the
I'm
tip.
reading this
and then I
right.
do
We're
my
about
tight.
40 meters above the bottom, and they're doing their
Oh,
40
slow.
meters above the bottom
Just keep
stuff.
doing what you're
I'm
doing.
Front
seeing
row.
things on the bottom.
Oh, you
Looks
are?
like
The sponges, maybe.
white,
Or is that light?
white bodies.
I think we got
So
some
sponges.
animals. Well,
I'm backing at
all right, so I'm going to be
60.
quiet now.
Yeah, you're making way.
Just
a little
so
slow.
we can enjoy the first look at the seafloor on this side of the Seamount.
Yeah,
And
it's
John
good
and
map.
Jonathan, maybe later on, if I could tap one or both of you guys to talk about this unique seamount, because I know you had a story that you told in the Geological Society of America conference a couple of months ago, and I'd love it if you would have an opportunity to share that story, maybe when we're at a pause point in the dive.
Yeah,
Chris,
can do that.
definitely.
All right. Well, thank you all, and we're
see
going to turn
myself
our
in the fish
attention
right
to
now.
the
And
seafloor
then-
here.
There you are, peeking out. Tether looks good. It's right overhead, in
Okay.
line.
Ready
I'll
for
put
me
my
to turn?
camera- let me put my camera at 90. I'm just looking back right now.
Okay.
And then let's get you center. All right, camera straight down. So try to get center, and then we'll start turning.
There we go. That's pretty good.
Looks good.
Those
All right,
are
I'm
going
going
to
to
rotate
rotate.
those white things.
Copy
Those aren't
that.
the
I'll
sliding
rotate starboard.
anomalies, are they? You're talking about these down here at the
Tether
bottom.
As
looks
well as
good.
these things right
Oh,
there.
that looks like lighting.
Oh, is it lighting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way.
I'm looking 270.
Copy.
That's about right.
Oh, Wetmore. Oh, we're not bottom yet? Okay.
Oh, so it's all lighting.
Yeah, it's all lighting. Okay. We're getting excited. But,
Okay. I'm
but
at
it's how
270
unusual
as well.
for us to get
I
excited.
know. Push out.
because you wouldn't
Yeah,
think-
push out.
You wouldn't think we are
we'll get
so
you to 45.
serious
And
here.
we'll start coming down.
That's a good copy. Altitude luck of 30.
I think we're, according to the altimeter, I
Might
think I'm reading it
feel
right, it's
steep.
about 30 meters off bottom. What's that?
That makes sense because
yeah,
I stopped at
that's at 30
50.
meters.
Delta
It's
20.
right over
I was at, okay. Well, I came back
To the 30.
and I was at 40, so I did a delta of 10
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
originally.
Whitmore.
I'm at delta.
But that's a
All right,
proposed
that has
name. And
me
John,
at
I'm hoping
about
that John or
a little
Jonathan
more.
is going to
Yeah,
tell
I
us
got
a
a
little
little
more about this later on in the dive.
Yeah, it's about 45.
Okay. Yeah, spelled W.
Great.
I'm ready to come down if you are.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'll start coming down with
You're
you.
not heading
Uh-oh.
still, correct?
Yes, sir.
Great. Great. All right, I'm headed down.
Is
So
Wetmore?
my,
That's
we're
what
down
you've been putting
15
into
meters
the
per minute.
backlog.
Yeah, it's it's Wetmore. Wetmore, I think.
I thought it was just pronounced Whitmore.
Let's turn the mics off while we.
Tether looks
just kidding.
good.
All right, so John
So
is obviously going to have to
20
clarify us on the name.
showing
the proposed
altitude
name
of
Seamount.
3
Hey, Chris,
zero
is
it time meters. for bad
invertebrate jokes yet?
Well, I'm going to.
Chris,
Yes,
it's Wetmore, W-E-T-M-O-R-E.
thank you, John. Sorry. I can see John laughing over there at us. They're in the University of
sonar
Hawaii
I currently
Exploration
have?
Command
50.
Center, or
Thanks.
in his office, but it's going to be at the
Give
University
you a
of
little more
Hawaii.
gain.
I'm going to lateral over,
That
too, just
sounds
a little
great.
bit.
And who
Yeah,
else
copy
do we
that.
have now? We have Asako Matsumoto from the Chiba Institute in Japan, Bruce
Still nothing
Mundi
on sonars.
from the
There we go.
Inouye
Sirius is
Regional
painting the
Center,
bottom at
NOAA's
38
premier
meters.
regional
Beautiful.
center in Honolulu on Ford Island.
Yeah, if
Good
you want to
morning,
push
Bruce,
out a
to
little
you.
bit
Pushing out
too.
as well.
And we've
Lateral.
got George Matsumoto. Good morning,
I'm actually
George.
gonna pause for a
Jonathan
second.
Tree,
My
you
tether's
already
getting a little
heard
high
about
on my
already. He's
side.
at University
I
of
can push
Hawaii.
out some more.
Les Watling,
Yes, why don't you
also
set her
from
up?
the
While we
biology
let the
department
tethers
at the
sink.
University of Hawaii. Scott France from the University of Louisiana, Lafayette. Steve Auskovich, good morning, Steve, from Temple
Yes, I would just
University.
hold off and going down.
I'm
Tara
pushing,
Luke
I'm
and,
pushing lateral pretty
I
good.
don't remember where
Maybe
Tara
it,
is.
maybe
I
it
think
is that
she's with,
swing, the residual swing.
Is she?
Could be.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
excuse
coming
me,
back
Tara. You got to
for
make a note.
waypoint.
I think you're with
Just a little bit of that.
Okay, we're looking good.
Peter's lab.
I got a Delta
Stockton.
24
Stockton.
trailing still.
All right,
That looks
thank
better.
you.
Must I
Okay.
come
My
down again?
apologies.
University.
Stockton University. And Tim Shank with Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution.
Bringing serial sonar in.
So, thank you
Perfect,
all
thank
very
you.
much. And boy, I hope we can treat
Yes, I'm starting to pick
okay,
some
Right
things
now
up.
we got a bottom.
Great, and I can see bottom. I have a visual.
Nice.
Don't have it on your sonar. Gaining up.
Heading down.
Well, we got rocks. That's for sure.
So, what's our depth, Chris?
We are at
I'm getting blown off. That is
2,052
correct.
meters.
Wow.
Yeah. Look at it. You can kind of see it.
Yeah. See it moving.
More rocks. Good current
And
today.
let me give you an update on oxygen.
Lateraling. Continuously lateraling. Go pilot.
Copy.
Oh, and push out. Whoa. Got a good current.
All right, so here's your daily oxygen
I'm gonna pause
update.
for a second. Let
So
tether
we
sink a
hit
little.
the oxygen
Sure. Do you mind
minimum
if I
right
continue
around
down?
500 meters this morning at
just stand by for a second.
0.5
Okay.
milliliters per liter. And we have been going up ever since, and we are currently at about
All right, let's keep going.
Whoa, look at this
2.3 or
current
so,
here.
2.2 milliliters
Yes, it might
per
be.
liter.
If we look upslope, we might just be off. It might help.
And
This
I'm
might
a
just be
bit
coming
surprised.
downslope.
This
at
looks
us.
like this would be good
So once we
coral.
get down, we can figure that out.
Survey
That was one of your things, right, in plain view. Continuing
Yeah,
down.
there's one sponge, but I would have thought that this place would be covered. We're at a great.
Well, there's now 2 sponges.
Where's the other
Oh,
one?
the only reason I was
it's
pushing
left.
out
Okay.
was current was pushing
And
me
there's
back.
2 more in the back.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just coming along.
All right, we'll give it a chance.
looking good. Looking good.
Your chanting in the morning of having sponges might be effective.
Bridge, Nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
We've just reached the bottom. I'd like to set a
Yes, I'm
bailout
actually picking
of
up sonar.
095.
I'm pretty sure I know what
095
the sponges
Thank you,
are
Rich.
already,
Slope, I'm picking up south.
but we'll get a closer look.
Yeah, I'm picking
So
up
maybe
slightly
we're-
this way
over here.
RV
more.
Nav Bridge.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Over
Would you
here.
like us to
Because I got
switch
a
center
hard return over
rotation
here.
to A-frames?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
turn,
okay.
look at
Okay.
a rotation.
And
Alright.
a
Copy.
whip whirl. So as the lights
I'm gonna
project
stop
onto
there.
the bottom, we're seeing all
Altitude
kinds of
15.
interesting animals.
Delta
Um,
15.
And since we've only just started, we don't
Wanted to
necessarily
land it, and I
expect
wanna
to
see
deploy out of the
what
Cracker
our-
Jack box right away. But certainly a lot
Copy.
of good.
With permission,
caramel
can I get
encrusted
your
rocks
swing arms
here.
out?
I mean,
Yes,
manganese
go ahead.
encrusted rocks.
Copy that.
Look at this. Pretty good today.
Yes, I would just face up slope and travel that way. Good current.
Look at that.
All right,
Looks like
so
my
I think
slope
these,
is
I'm
right
trying to get the
over here.
annotation software set up here. I kind of forgot to do that this morning. And we're
right,
looking at a
towards,
sponge that's called Walteria,
oh.
but we'll get a closer look at it. It's a glass sponge in the family Euplectellidae.
So,
Okay.
For those of you who have just joined us, the ROV D2 has just arrived at the bottom of the seafloor at 2,047 meters, and we're currently, usually what we do is wait for the pilots to sort of set the ROV up for deployment and surveying along the bottom. So we're going to give them a little bit of time to do that. But in the meantime, you're looking at the deep sea bottom. There are lots of animals. They look like plants, but there are sponges and all sorts of corals in view. and we'll get to
upper starboard's
sort of
coming out nicely.
the narration.
Yeah, it looks like I'm
and
facing
the
upslope
other
here.
parts of,
Copy that. I'll
the
finish
dive
this.
very shortly.
I'll can reposition.
All right. Well, now that we get a closer look at the bottom,
All
we're looking okay here.
Bars
We're
are
getting plenty of
good.
animals here right off the
Save
dive
lane.
site.
Dial in my Z by
Actually, I'll
I think
close your
it's a
drawer
good-
real quick.
It's a good start.
Yeah, it is a good start. We're not seeing the huge bamboo that we've seen elsewhere,
Traps.
but we're getting a nice little assortment of
Traps.
smaller
Traps drawer.
colonies. That by smaller I mean
All right. Sailing valve
you know,
pack.
half a meter high or so.
HVU off. All right.
Co-pilot, if you have a minute, please set.
So
DC
these
bus
big
return
woolly
ground fault
things
monitors.
are
Yes,
have been identified
sir.
by
DC
Bruce Bundy at the
off or on, I
Regional
guess.
Yes.
Center as
Yep, it's the
Walteria.
standby button.
So
Well,
thank you, Bruce.
On,
for
on,
punching that in, and
okay,
we got a
next.
coral and a couple corals in front of
All
us
right. So yeah, you want to
that are
rotate.
pretty interesting.
I'll kind of split the difference. So
One
you
of
can
which
kind of move
has
ahead.
one of your beasts
Looks
in
like
there.
the
or
head's
a cousin of one
south.
of your
We got to
beasts.
be on the
Well,
We
in
must
Canada,
have
slightly
in
to the
any
north of the
case.
ridge, then, huh?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
So a lot of the
Best
things
thing, I
that
guess, is
Multibeam
upslope.
doesn't
those of
indicate
you out
that,
there
but it
might
is
be
possible.
watching. These, just to be clear,
But, I
these are
mean,
not plants.
gotta
These
get to
are
the top,
animals.
so
These are
I think we're
corals
pushing
and
forward.
sponges, and
Do they wanna look
there
at
are
any of this, you
animals
think?
which in turn live on
you
them.
can let them know.
Probably
We'll
will.
tell you a bit
So
more
it's
about
ready
that
to
as we
I
watch.
just want to dial in my Z bias a little bit better.
Yeah.
Any tips for that?
All right, so we are going
Go
to
off
tell a
stick and
really
just
stupid joke
adjust
this
like you
morning,
do.
as promised. But after we first
Auto
tell
def?
you where we are exactly, we are in the Johnston Atoll unit of Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument.
I like
We
that.
are in them,
26.
and that's
okay.
pretty cool. And this monument is made up of various atolls and islands.
Okay, I was
across
trying
the
to keep from
Pacific.
drifting back here.
Here, Johnston is one of the northernmost of the
Okay.
units in the in this particular monument, and I can't pronounce the acronym. It's like Primnim
About 20
or something, but it's Pacific Remote
22.
Islands Marine
The guy was
National
22
Monument.
yesterday.
Okay.
It also has Wake Island in the monument.
Okay.
It's got Howland and Baker. It's got Jarvis Island. It's got Palmyra and Kingman. And am I missing anybody? I think I got
I'll
them
just
all.
make this work.
Wake?
Watch the pilot.
Is that part of it?
Roger, pilot, go ahead.
Hey, we are on bottom.
All right. So are you ready to start doing some zooming?
I am ready.
Okay, well, the one right in center, we might as well start with this guy, the leggy one, and then we'll look over to the
Pilot, please
right and left and everywhere.
Are we talking about this one on the right here?
Yeah, let's do the right one
Sorry,
first.
so
Okay.
That makes more
Please
sense.
record the DC bus return resistance.
Copy that.
Thank you.
We got some stuff on the rock face, too. Let's
Oh,
do
yes.
And
right
be aware of my swing arms. Can you just yell out just because it is a little
Yes, I'll
rocky
watch
here?
it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So one of the dynamics that we have here on the ship is that we're connected via telepresence to a panel of scientists from all over the world, and they're assisting us with with identifications and with providing knowledge on biology about the animals we're studying. And so they will often provide us with the names, the identifications of a lot of these organisms.
Okay,
although
video. Let's
I'm
go
an
ahead in.
expert in sea stars myself. But right now, for example, we're looking at a coral with what's called an ophiuroid or a snake star wrapped around the arms. And Les Wadling from the University of Hawaii identifies
It's
the
a nice contrast.
coral as belonging to the family Plexaridae, possibly in the genus Paragorgia.
I don't know about that.
Solid
That's what he's
co-pilot right there.
simply reciting.
I think he's going to change his mind when he sees
And
this close-up.
Video, you don't know how much that
He
means.
calls the ophiuroid an asteroschematid, which is one of many groups of snake stars which wrap their arms around
Nice
these
work, guys.
corals. They have very close relationships with them. They will often live on these corals for most of their life, even unto death. So we'll often find them
Guess
still
I'm getting a
wrapped
current
around
almost
and
directly from
unable
the
to
south.
pull them off.
Pulling out for medium shot.
Even as
Go ahead, Ian.
Down
museum
slope
specimens.
ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
not bad.
Les might have been right on the colony when it was alive, but it is so overgrown right now by zoanthids. That's another type of cnidarian that you can barely even tell what the original coral colony was like. It's
And going for
probably
full
dead. I haven't seen any
species?
live tissue. Maybe he spotted some, but I think it's completely overgrown with zoanthids. So,
Right.
Hello,
So-
who just chimed in?
Okay, so both Chris
is
and
so
Les
long.
agree that this looks like it was at one time
The top
some
arm
kind
is
of coral.
ridiculous.
But
wow.
what's happened is you have sea anemones that,
Look down
or
at
not
the
sea
base.
anemones, but sea
Sure,
anemone
tilting
like
down.
animals
Can
called
see a hollow
zoanthids,
throwing in the
and they've
background.
completely sort of run
I think that's
over the surface of
sponge.
it and have dominated.
is that what
the
you want to see, or you want to see the base?
Base.
Copy.
Yeah, we have a
And-
little
oh, my.
sponge there, and we're looking at let's suggest that this could be some type of a hydrozoan, but I don't know. It could be, but it looks more like it's.
Should we already get lasers on it? Video?
We have not.
Okay, we can do that before we move.
Yeah,
Lasers
I think
are
it just got
on.
overgrown. Let's see, Scott. Scott has a very reasonable suggestion. If it was a Paragorgia, then it's the first he's ever seen completely overgrown, and he's
Okay,
suggesting that the
do
ophiuroid
lasers.
could be an indication that it was.
Copilot, you want to get my lasers?
Yeah,
Or
they're
did you
on. You
turn
just
them
got to come out. a little.
So
Copy.
okay, so we're good when video's
There
good.
they are.
And
Copy. We're just going to get lasers on it real quick.
Sure,
Go
yeah,
across
that's
the
great.
overweight
too. And then there's a
lasers.
couple small things to the rock to the lower right of this.
Okay.
When you finish that,
Full wide
spot
videos,
lobster
sir.
and something else.
And yeah.
We'll go ahead, Copilot.
Oh, I just want to let you know. Sirius is not moving at
Could
all.
be a sea star.
okay,
even.
so you can.
Just
do
watch
it
it.
if you
You
want.
said lower right.
Lower right, right at the corner there. You see those? It's right on the rock face.
Yes.
I'm watching your arms.
Yes, thank you. I'm actually going to re-land
A
over here.
crinoid maybe, or is that a?
I'm thinking
So-
crinoid, yeah.
I think you're right. Ah. Okay. So, Roland has a theory of what we're looking at right now. We'll see whether he was correct or not, but I think he may have
I
been
am a
right.
little far, but come on in video. It's interesting. I'll get real close.
And I think he is right. So Roland suggested that that crinoid on the right has some arm issues.
Yeah, looks like just in the field of view, we have a nice three-phylum picture here. So starting on the right is a crinoid. This is an echinoderm. These are related to sea stars. They're filter feeders, and they often extend their water or their arms into the water to take advantage of food that might be passing by as the currents flow through them. They have the arms with
You can
the
just
extensions
rock
called
left as he
pinnules,
starts
and
talking
they
about
grab
the
that
sponge.
food,
I'll start
and it just moves
going
down along the groove on each arm into the mouth.
I believe it was the same plane.
And
Yes.
I think
There
we
it
were
is right
looking
there.
at something else. Oh,
It's
and
a
here
little
we
sponge.
go. It's a little sponge. So
Just center it up.
that's
Centering.
from echinoderm to sponge. This is a little, you can see it adhering to the surface with little adhesive or other kinds of attachment points down at the base. And then
Just
finally,
keep going.
crustacean, a little squat lobster,
Yeah,
which I don't recognize. But
I think it could be Unidopsis. It's just kind of a funny one, but those very robust front claws, I think, suggest that to me, at least in a more whitish type of a coloration and just the J shape.
It's good. Good job.
Let's see if we've got any comments here in the event log.
Would you like me to move on to something else, watch leads, or wait right here?
No, I think this is good enough because they're going to
Okay.
be delayed. They'll get caught up. quickly.
Lasers.
Whenever you're good,
Are-
video.
Lasers
So we
should
saw
be
some
on.
coral over to the left
Yeah.
too before we go too far from this location. And
That's-
it's zoomed out a bit and to the left.
Copy that, watch leads. I believe it's
There's
right
a-
near my toe, actually.
It's a sponge in your
There's
toe.
a sponge right there too. I didn't even see him.
Okay, better
Yeah.
not hit that.
Yeah. Could we get a real quick glance at that sponge?
Sure.
I just want to make sure he's similar to the other ones in the back.
I can. We can do a quick zoom while I land video just so they can get an ID.
Yes, it is. It's the
It
same
is.
as the other one, so we'll get one of the... this
Okay.
is Walteria as well. So let's see if we can get one of these corals. I guess the one on the left.
Full wide video.
You are wide.
Thank you.
And there it
Can you
is.
tilt
I
HD2
wonder if
up
this thing's
to the
overgrown
edge?
too.
this looks
Yes.
different
I'll let
from
my
the other
co-pilot
one.
do that.
Yeah, it is, but looks like it could have zoanthids on it as well. And then there'll be a whip after that.
I don't know.
Okay, you're on, buddy. You're on. Let's see,
How's that
let's see what
video?
we got here. Could be a bamboo coral, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, video, let's start in. And I'm going to rotate over there.
Okay.
It's looking more primnoid, though.
Not with those polyps.
No?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, 1-0 already this morning. This is zoanthids.
Oh, it is zoanthids.
Zoanthid City. Okay.
Fine. I am just going to sulk.
Don't suck. We'll find you more crinoids and sea stars.
Yeah, so this is another coral. We don't think it's in the original colony that's, again, entirely overgrown. We don't think it's the same thing as the previous one. Just look at the branching. It's very different. But again, it's been
Is it
totally...
just me, or the surface texture of these zoanthids a little different from the other one as well? They almost look kind of... they look
Pilot,
rougher.
can you move in super tight on this guy?
I don't know.
Do you want me to move in, or can you zoom in any further?
That's max zoom.
Okay. Yeah, I can try to get a little closer.
Let's get her super tight on those
Actually, I think we might
scales.
be doing a pilot change over here.
Yeah, we are. So we're going to do
Push
a
in
quick
and then
pilot
do
change.
it while you guys
and
change.
Okay, I'll
you
do
know
a
what,
quick push in.
You know what I'm thinking, too, is that it's not that important to zoom in on this again.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can find some live.
Yeah.
Video, I'm also being
optical.
careful of all the
Actual
life that's
instead
here. I
of-
don't want to... You know what I mean?
Science called us off. So
Okay, we can get another one later.
Oh,
All
no,
these whips.
there's a couple live ones.
All right, what are we looking at here? Watch leads.
These are whip corals. If we could zoom in, we might have something that's isn't overgrown.
Let me get a good footing.
And the bottom looks like it's pillow lava, by the way, which is really good. We were hoping to see something like that.
Oh, slipping back a little bit. Catch. Actually, I need to re-get my footing here.
And is that a stock crinoid behind it, or what is that behind it?
Okay, video, I can you start coming in.
Right
We'll
behind
get
the
the stock.
boulder.
I think
There it
it's-
is.
No, it's a
No, it's a coral. Yeah.
black coral.
Maybe a
Maybe.
Right back
a
there?
primnoid.
No, I'm sorry, you're right. Primnoid.
So this is an unbranched primnoid. And I think I know what it is, but I'm going to wait and see if the event log's
Max
got an
it.
opinion here.
Copy that.
Les had already suggested that this stand was possibly a mixture of primnoids and bamboos, and Scott has come up with an ID, Candidella giganta, which is an unbranched primnoid, and I'll bet he's looking at the really elongate polyps on this thing that have multiple, what they call body scales, more than 3, probably 5 or so on these polyps. See how long they are?
Yeah,
And-
interesting.
That's a characteristic of Candidella, plus the fact it's got 3 polyps per whorl. So the original description of Candidella gigantea had 3 polyps per whorl, but we're beginning to suspect there's variation in that now.
I'm going to tilt down a little bit. We'll push to the one behind.
So that is our first
To the
live
left.
coral this morning. Of course, we were going to find some more, but okay. Les Watling says it could be convexella, though. Is that a primnoid? I don't know. I don't know that primnoid, Les.
Go full screen.
And yeah, Sako also had noted that this is the first one that's alive. Okay. That's another Walteria, but I think we'll get a less ratty colony, further up, because there's a bunch of them around. I wonder if we could go left a little bit, because there might be a bamboo.
Actually, we're going to switch out patch real quick.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, those.
So we're just holding on a moment as our engineering and piloting staff switches shift.
Hey, Chris, how are you doing?
So the
Hey, Dan.
Good morning, Dan. Yeah, I was about to say, I think I know everybody up there, but would you care to introduce yourselves?
Well, we're still waiting on our last transfer here, so maybe we'll wait a few minutes if that's okay.
Dan, I'm not are you on? I didn't hear your voice there. Maybe I'll switch my volume here.
Yeah, if you want to latch on to me for listen.
Got it. Okay.
There we go.
You.
All right. Yeah, we're still waiting for one more switch out, so maybe we'll wait a few minutes until that happens to do the introductions, but thanks for remembering.
Would you be able to just to turn slightly to the left and zoom in on those whip corals on the left side of the boulder?
Sure.
Okay, how do you got me, Nav? How do you got me, pilot?
Got you loud and clear.
Same.
Copy.
Seems like we're a little late right now. I can fix that.
Yeah, I know how to fix it. And I'm glad you mentioned that already, because you know what we always like to do when we get to the bottom.
Yep,
so you see that 2-ton boulder with the 6 corals?
Yeah, yeah. The one that's about the size of D2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in video.
Okay, and to the left a little bit.
It's not those.
Yeah, these right
these
here.
Guys.
Yeah, these guys.
Okay.
So superficially, they look the same from a distance. They're all kind of unbranched. This one's got a little fork in it, I think.
Just getting a little closer.
It's actually got 3 branches on it.
Partial.
All right. There we go. Just want to crush those coral between my toes. Get around those. All right. We can go in a little tighter.
Oh, really?
All right, so now we're looking at a bamboo, and this is in the family Isididae, and we're waiting. We're waiting to see. Let's see. Les has thought a possible S1 clad bamboo, and the thing Les Watling is looking at are where it branches and the polyp shape and what you can see in spicules. But in the meantime, we're looking at something else now, Chris, aren't we?
Oh, yes. Looks like we're back to another crinoid, a different species from the other one we were looking at. These are echinoderms, the group of, they're related to sea stars. They hold their arms up into the water, and they can pluck small food
corals
particles
kind of waving
out
around in the wind up there.
These get moved down to the mouth, which is located in that central cup, and that's how they feed. These have been around for a while, and if we're lucky today, we're not only going to see
get
these feather
straight there,
stars,
those
but
yellowish
stocked
things.
Is that what those are?
of these animals.
Is that what those things are called?
Yeah, so Les, I think I mentioned
I think
this
I may get the
already,
name
but
wrong.
in case not, he's identified this as possibly being in the S1
Okay.
clade. This
Let's go ahead
is
and
the
zoom out.
bamboo we're looking at.
Thanks, Roland.
And
Just those little
okay,
candelabras.
so let's see. What do we want to go for next?
So, tell you what, Watchlead, I kind of want to figure out a direction here before we get too detail focused.
Okay.
Then we can have a plan to move forward as soon as we're done imaging some of this stuff. So right now,
My
there's,
co-pilot was
also a big
telling me
coral off
that
to the left, but we'll get to it.
the slope was south.
yeah, it looks
Yeah, we're
like
looking
it.
for the ridge, but
oh,
it
we
seems
got
like we
plenty
came
of
down a little
corals.
bit north of it, although
Okay.
HiPAC doesn't really show that.
Yeah, I think that could be the top of it up there.
Could be, yep.
Yeah, there you go.
And then,
The depths are about 30 meters off.
Wow. So
minimum.
actually, this is
Okay.
shaping
So,
up pretty
I mean, I
good
could easily
for
see-
landing here.
That's
We
what
got-
I was telling you.
Got a lot of
being
stuff.
that far over.
Yeah.
Do you want me to turn face south and then you can position yourself?
yeah, why don't you face... We don't have to go directly south. We can kind of kitty corner it a bit, but...
Copy.
I think D2's heading here, like a 200 or so.
All right, turning to 200.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just.
And there's a little bit of current pushing me back. Yeah, you can see it coming into the camera now. There's stuff floating by.
So, Pilot, what direction is that current coming from?
Current's coming generally from pretty much south to north.
South to
Maybe
north.
slightly southwest to northeast.
West to northeast. Okay. And that's across the ridge, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Before we leave, Pilot,
Sure.
see this dead coral, but it's not dead. Could we get a look at the yellow orangey branches at the tips of this thing laying on the ground that's just going off stream?
Sure. Yeah. And you're all right, Fernando? I know I'm a little behind you, but...
yeah, I have it right there at the end of my camera.
So we're not moving, right? So
that is correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this.
Yeah, this thing fell over. You can see its base on the rock up ahead, and it's still alive, but this is a bit of a curious one. The very ends of it are still alive. And a beautiful glass sponge, Walteria, as he's right by the lasers, as we're about to zoom on this.
Go ahead, video.
Fallen over.
So the ends are still alive here, huh?
Yeah, they are. And oh, it's a bamboo. Okay. And it's an internodal branching bamboo. I guess it's internodal. Some of these look nodal. Yeah, so, all right, we're looking at a bamboo coral that has fallen over, and it's still alive right on the end. We're looking at the polyps. Can we get any tighter zoom on the polyps?
Max zoom?
That's max zoom for
That's
now.
max zoom?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, Scott says Isadella-ish.
Yeah, it's come out.
And Les says nodal J-clade.
All right, watch lead, I'm going to get back in view of my co-pilot here.
Roger, yeah, thank you. That'll work for us. Thank you very much.
Lining up 200. Okay. I'm keeping 16 delta.
Yep. Your sonars look good.
Okay, there you are.
Yep. Pushing out. Yeah, this will allow us to set up and get moving pretty quick when we're done here. Gonna come over.
Is there a pretty decent current in this area?
There does appear to be a pretty decent current, yes.
Which is a good sign for corals. A lot of these whip corals are very sparsely branching corals, both in primnoids and the bamboos. We're going to get a little better perch here before we start looking for some other stuff. I think the pilot is going to be dealing with current all day today. No, we've got a bunch of stuff to look at already. This is terrific.
All that food and no starfish to feed on.
Yeah, well, look at how it's picking up there in the back. See how the colonies are increasing already?
Oh, yeah. Are they increasing in size also?
They're increasing in size and in abundance. We're seeing...
that's a good sign. Ooh, there's a... what do you call them? Those Iridogorgia, right?
The Iridogorgia?
Spiral thing?
Oh, yeah, that's Iridogorgia. Beautiful big colonies in the background we're headed to. All right.
All right. And I'm much more comfortable now, so...
How about this fan-shaped coral to the right, lower right? It may be the same thing that was fallen over, but let's take a look. And there's so much to shoot here. I'm not even sure where to start. And then maybe we can get the Iridogorgia right after that. Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, there's a decent current here.
I see some stock sponges waving in the current. And also some really interesting other types of sponges. But we could actually get 3 different colonies of corals by 4 different types of corals here by settling down here and just going one to the other without even moving.
Yeah, nice job, Fernando. You're doing well tracking me here. Thanks. Thank you.
Now that's a deep sea scene right there.
This is pretty nice, huh?
Lasers are
clear. That is beautiful. Look at the color of that Iridogorgia. Very golden orange.
Let's, do you want to move the ship like 10 meters closer to D2 here?
I can do that. I'm just resetting your vessels here.
Oh, and there's maybe, there's even more different types of primnoids in the background. Looks like it could be a calyptophora, a paracalyptophora. Spectacular.
Okay, you want to zoom in?
All right.
Do a 10-meter move at 200.
Sure.
Okay, I got an idea. I want to see if Scott and Les, who are the experts, would agree.
British RV Nav.
Probably won't.
Go ahead, RV Nav.
Hey, I just
sensitive
want
to being
let
corrected
you know, I think you were already
too often
told
during
that
the
we are
dive.
on bottom.
Yes.
We have a bailout plan currently set at 095. Is that what you have as
Yep,
well?
we have a 095 up here.
And you are rotating about the
Okay,
A-frame?
so Scott
Correct.
thinks it's
Okay,
the
great.
same.
We are ready for ship
J,
All right,
that's
so are we.
J-clade.
All right. 10 meters
yeah, you
at
see the
200
nodal branching.
degrees, 0.2 knots.
I thought it looked a little bit like ectomysis.
Can you repeat that?
Scott, that's
10
why.
meters
zoom
at
out, just touch
200
rolling.
degrees,
Yeah,
Because
just,
the polyps are
when
really.
you
Hold
do
there.
those pans, just hold it just a
10
little bit longer.
meter, bearing
Sure.
200, speed decimal 2.
Good copy.
Now let's see what we've got. I'm going to go ahead and put in J-clade for it.
All right, does that work for you, Roland?
Yep.
Yeah. And when we're done, can we just pan to the right? And I think we're going to get another coral.
And before we move, we want to get a full screen of this guy.
Okay, you can come out, Roland. We'll get a full view.
ROV Nav bridge, move of 10 meters, bearing 200,
Okay, yeah,
speed decimal
Scott
2
points out,
initiated.
yeah, I was
Copy.
wrong. Ectomysis has internodal branching. Thank you, Scott. And there's a fish.
There we go.
There's
That
a
looks good.
fish. The corals are getting to the
left.
Yeah. I wonder if we could do a snap zoom or let's
Okay,
go
ready-
for
ready,
the
Roland?
fish.
Yep, video's clear.
Chrysogorgia in there
Partial.
too.
Okay, you want to zoom in? It's going to be tough here.
Yep, I'll track you.
We're
Holding.
doing a general type, but let's let Bruce chime in. If
Well, this guy's being shy.
Go a
Okay, I
little
think
tighter.
this is a grenadier, as Ken Sulak
Lighting-
corrected us.
lighting is
They're
getting
also
poor.
called
Yeah.
rat tails, but in the family Macruridae. A little unclear because the fish is swimming away from
Yeah.
it, so
All right.
can't quite tell. But it's got a long whip-like tail with a large fin along the bottom, a short little fin on
Swimming
the
away from us.
top of the body, and it looked like it had a short, rounded head. With this view, we're not going to be able to say much more about the fish than what family it's in, but fairly abundant family at these depths in more productive areas of the ocean. We're not seeing many of them out here in the remote islands, remote islands, marine national monuments, but a grenadier in the family Macruridae.
Thank you very much, Bruce. That's Bruce Mundy calling in from the Onoye Regional Center, the
You can
NOAA's
zoom in to lose
Onoye
the skids,
Regional
Roland,
Center.
if you want.
Bruce, I don't think it was the Kumba that we've seen in other places. Would you agree? The behavior, and it just looked different to me. So it's something other than that little guy that we see often.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. It looked darker, more darkly pigmented, and it was
RV
swimming
Nav
more
bridge
actively.
Laser
than
across the
Kumba,
spiral.
which is
Sure.
the
Go ahead and
name
get the
that we've
lasers
been
on
using
Copilot.
for the most common type of small grenadier that we see. I think a lot of those have been seen in the lower oxygen areas. This one is, as you pointed out earlier, we're below that oxygen minimum, so it was swimming more actively.
I got to bump
But
up my
I would
Z-bias here,
agree
Roland.
that it's
The
not the
currents
one
are a
that
little
we
different.
see often, and unfortunately, since it wasn't very cooperative, didn't want to have its close-up taken, we can't really say anything more about what it was.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, we're getting the lasers on this Iridogorgia. Pilot just commented, like, that's 2 meters maybe, Pilot, in length? Or more than
Yeah,
that?
sure. Maybe around 2 meters.
Yeah, because the lasers are 10 centimeters for those of you who are new to the Okeanos
Striped
dives.
across.
And
Two of
this is your
those.
first
Yep, there you go.
Okeanos dive.
Perfect.
Boy, are you lucky. This is beautiful. This is the kind of place
Ready for a
that
zoom? You
people
look pretty
interested in
stable.
coral and
Hold
sponges
on
and sea
one
stars
second.
really hope to see or to find.
You can see how much current there is, too, so
Yeah.
how far he's bent over there.
Got a sponge between your skids.
Yep, I see it. Trying to come down right between it.
So Les and Scott, is this a typical color for one of these Iridogorgia? It just seems like it's more colorful than usual.
Nope, the sponge is not going to let me sit down without getting in the way. There we go.
Okay, Scott doesn't think it's all that unusual.
Zoom in,
Maybe
Roland.
it's just really good lighting. Just thought it looked more orangey, but this is one of the most beautiful corals down here, at least in my opinion. It's just elegant. There's no other word to describe it. Beautiful sweeping spirals. Just an amazing shape. And also, this shape is really well suited to filtering the water from different directions. Do you have any idea why, Chris?
Why it might be suited to filter feeding in different directions?
Yeah, so if the current changes, it's now southwest to northeast. Now it's going to shift, maybe, if it's a tidally driven current.
Don't want to run into the sponge.
Northeast to southwest. What is this coral going to do?
Looks like it's coiled, so it'd be able to shift position or go with the current.
That's right. It would just swing around the opposite direction. It's got so much flexibility, and it's so tall that no matter what direction the coral or the current is coming from, it can set itself up to optimally filter the water. This is like an amazing design. I love these type of whip corals because they're constructed, if you will, or their morphology is so amazing.
Let's go for a full screen.
Go ahead.
I think we're good on that guy, pilot.
Okay.
Oh, we got to get the sponge. There it is. He's right there. He's begging.
Still working on the full screen.
Okay, so this is the Walteria. We're getting a little bit of a close-up. A beautiful glass sponge.
Okay, video's clear.
Okay, can zoom in on the sponge.
Possible highlight of the day.
And
we have a bunch of interesting things living on it too.
Yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at Walteria right now. So you want to talk about the little things, Chris?
Yeah. So we have sort of perched on some of these branches. Looks like a little shrimp within the Walteria, within the sponge's sort of central cavity there. It looks like we have several brittle stars. These are often commensal. That is to say, they don't harm the sponge, but they take advantage of the animal's structure in order to live and to be protected from predators. It's worth mentioning, too, if you haven't seen one of these before, when we say that these are glass sponges, that's not just a sort of a superficial name. They literally are made out of glass. So all of these things sort of create their own skeleton. And there's a whole group of these
just below the lasers on this thing.
made out of silicon dioxide.
Center on those.
And you'll see a lot of them today. They often have a superficial resemblance to fiber optic cable.
You good, Roland?
There's some anemones on this right next to the lasers.
Video's saying there's some anemones on the sponge. Do you want to look at those or go to the coral?
I just didn't go to the coral. We have so much to image today.
Okay.
Full wide.
This is quite a diverse community, which is really exciting I think for all of us. And we'll get associates just on all types of things today.
Okay, I'm a little far away, but I don't want to run over your sponge here, so we're going to get a far zoom here for now.
That would be fine.
Go
Thank
ahead.
A little bit left.
All right, so
I got you at 65 degrees, pilot.
We have our old friends.
Thanks, Fernando. Have you noticed yourself getting blown around a little bit, or?
Not really.
Okay.
Just heaving up and down, but
I have a guess.
You're doing a good job managing it, so thank you.
So I think we can all agree this is a primnoid, and
go over to the ophiroids.
I think I know what this is, but I've actually got to consult the guide, the Okeanos online guide, because I haven't seen one of these for quite a while.
Oops, sorry, Roland.
I'm also waiting for some comments on the chat room.
Okay, ready for full
To
screen.
get their
Go ahead.
ideas.
And I'll tilt up.
So I'm going
Lasers
to
are
throw
clear.
this out to the chat room. I think this could be Narella Bower's eye. It typically has dichotomous branching.
clear.
It tends to have a planar
Go full
colony.
wide, please. So Chris, I just want to verify. I know there's a lot to look at here, but we're happy just hanging out here and imaging as much as we can. Is that waypoint 2 up the ridge really important? Do we need to make tracks, or are you happy hanging out here for a little bit? It's your call. It's your call.
Okay.
We're happy to stay here if you are, but we just don't want to, stay for too long if waypoint 2 is a big priority.
Okay, well, it's nice to get as far up as we can, but on the other hand, we have not documented the animal community here, so let's try to get at least a few more things.
Absolutely. No, it's up to you. I'll leave it to you and Nav to coordinate that.
I'm sure we're going to get some requests from the chat room, too, about this.
Okay.
So I guess our next target is, you see these yellow sponges in lower center?
Yes.
There's one of them that the bottom part of it is whitish.
Yes.
If we could zoom in on that whitish thing.
Now,
Sure.
since
This
we're
is
going to
gonna
stay
be a very
here,
different
can you
glass
update me on
sponge.
that move?
And it was right there coming into view.
We are currently not moving.
Copy that.
So chat room, anybody on the on the telecom, we are taking orders for close-ups, and because we've got a lot of stuff, we'll get to some of those bigger bamboos in the back just to see if they're the same thing. We've got some different primnoids, and we may even have a hemicorallium or chrysogorgid. I saw a chrysogorgid earlier. Yeah, so that could be the same thing as what we're zooming in on, Roland. It's just slightly different morphology on top. Yeah. But this one, this is going to be a hard sponge right by the lasers, to the right of the lasers.
Okay, go ahead and zoom in a bit.
Chris,
and
I
hold
definitely
there.
support your decision to spend a little bit of time here and make sure we can identify much of what we see before we move on, just so that we have
I'm
a
gonna try
good
to
understanding of
pan to the
what's
right.
here, just in case we're at the top end of this diversity and not the bottom end.
And we can
Yeah,
get
I
rid of the
totally
lasers
agree,
here.
Scott. And so if we could zoom down to the live part, down there. Wow. Okay. I can take a guess at this. There's a little anemone in here, but I think this is in the family Phariidae, and it could be in the genus of Spitoscopulia. There's a mouthful. This is from Dr. Konstantin Tabachnik from the Shirshov Institute in Moscow.
You can come down a little
Who's
bit,
a
Fernando.
glass sponge
Copy.
expert.
Coming down.
Ready for full screen?
Go ahead.
So full screen of the live part first.
Okay, let me come back down. Hold there.
And then we'll do the whole thing.
Okay. I'll tilt up.
It's good.
This is interesting looking.
Yeah.
So it's like half live, half dead there?
Yeah, and then the one on the left is dead. And when they die, I suspect they can't clear the sediment.
The camera's
That looks
doing-
good, Fernando.
The camera's
So
doing
over
that
to the
zooming
left,
in itself.
Okay.
before we move too far, there was a red, kind of leggy one. Pink or red. And a little bit further zoom, and then down to the
Pull
left
wide.
a little bit.
Further
See
zoom.
your left
And then-
leg.
Down to the left, and keep going a little bit more. It's going to be, there he is.
Oh, the one on the very left there.
Yeah, the
okay.
pinky
Sure.
one.
Yeah, I will move over there. Got to be very careful how we maneuver through this. We don't want to
Yeah.
knock any of these over here.
Chris, and if at all possible, if it doesn't take too much effort, there's a thicker whip behind the two faria, and just in front of the two other faria behind there.
Okay, you
Actually,
want to
just
zoom
to
in
the
and roll?
right of the Walteria.
I
That's
see,
different from the whip we imaged earlier.
yeah, I see it, Scott, and we'll see if we can get there. So this is kind of cool because this is a coralliid, and this is a very
Next
different one that we've seen. I think it's different. Anyway, I think this is Hemicorallium abyssal. And abyssal is one of the characters of this is it tends to have two calyces at the tips of each of its branches. And I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing. Plus it tends to have a zigzag